Qualified, professional, and compassionate doctors talking real solutions to real health problems.
Can one with hearing loss ever get to hear again? Tonight, on the Doctalk show, it is me, Dr. Joseph Ogav Jagen, and we are going to talk about hearing loss. Tell me, how much hearing loss do we have in the country? Who is at risk of having hearing loss? How do you know that one could be having hearing loss? Where can you go for help? And what can be done about it? Joining me is a team of experts from the New York University. Professor Roland, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here and to be back in the country again. This is my 15th year coming to Uganda and trying to help children and adults with hearing loss.
Welcome, Professor Sean Mark Benomi. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Happy to be here.
And we are glad for the lives that you've impacted, one of whom is that of Manzi Josiah, who is here with his father, Gordon Gumiswiza. Gordon, I wish you'd talk to us about your experience with your son, Manzi. We know you're a father of 4. You've had 2 children normal, and then a third one comes, and you suspect something. Tell me, how did you get to suspect that Josiah could be having hearing loss?
Manzi was actually born with his hearing, but he lost it after he suffered meningitis at 1 year.
So meningitis is an infection of the brain.
After the meningitis, we discovered that he was, about 2 to 3 months in, we discovered that he was no longer responding to call-outs to his name. And then that's where we picked it up from to start going for diagnosis to find out what could have happened, whether there was medication, and what to do from there.
How did you go through the tests of confirming that your child could actually be having a hearing loss?
We were advised by the ENTs to do an audiology, and the audiology actually confirmed our fears that he had actually lost his hearing, most of it. And so after those tests, then we were advised to do a cochlear implant, which would help to restore his hearing.
And have you actually done a cochlear implant?
Yes, we have done the cochlear implant. It was done here in Uganda by Professor Thomas and Professor Sean.
I can see the smile it brings on your face.
At TMR Hospital in Nalia.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
1 year ago. Yeah.
How has this transformed the life of Manzi and you as a parent?
Well, for Manzi, it has been the biggest transformation. The fact that now he has gotten his hearing back. He's going through therapy which will help him with speech and listening. And we hope that probably after another year or 2, he'll be able to join mainstream school.
We've got to hear from Gordon that Manzi actually suffered a meningitis, which is an infection of the layers that surround the brain. What are the commonest causes of hearing loss in a country like ours, and how much of a problem are they?
Well, there are acquired and hearing loss, and there's congenital hearing loss. So a child can actually be born with hearing loss, and that cause is usually a genetic cause. There is a gene that gets together from the mother and the father, and that gene makes part of the inner ear ineffective at providing information to the brain about sound. Acquired hearing losses, there are many causes, and meningitis is one of the causes. And meningitis is an infection, usually bacterial, that gets around the brain and the brain tissues, and it can also get into the inner ear and damage the structures of the inner ear that are responsible for hearing. And in Manzi's case, that's what happened. He got meningitis. He was very ill. He was treated for the meningitis with very powerful antibiotics. And fortunately, he recovered nicely. But the result of the meningitis left him with total hearing loss.
And Professor Mark Manami, is it possible that we can actually prevent this at such an early age?
Well, you can prevent hearing loss with early diagnosis and treatment of meningitis, and that's obviously what we hope happens with every child. Also, there are vaccines that can help prevent meningitis in the first place, and that actually is very important and can help children like Manzi not get meningitis at all, and therefore not suffer the side effects of meningitis.
What are the challenges in recognizing these problems in a child that is 1 year, 2 years?
Well, if you can't hear, you can't develop speech. So we look for developmental delays as one of the cues for hearing loss. We would ideally like to screen every child that's born for hearing loss, because the earlier we diagnose the hearing loss, the earlier we can implement a treatment, whether that treatment is hearing aids or, in the case of Manzi, cochlear implants. So the challenge is in making the diagnosis in a timely fashion and then implementing the correct strategy for treatment.
So 1 year on, Gordon, after Manzi's transforming implant, what have you seen that has changed? Can you interact with him better? Are you enjoying your fatherhood with him?
Previously, if you ever, say, called him out or gave him instructions, they would have to be, they were not lingual instructions. But now if you call out Manzi, he will respond.
Manzi,
And
how are you? You're fine. Great to have you here.
yeah, and he's learning, for example, he's learning the colors, he's learning animals. We're still working with the comprehension, which is coming in, and bit by bit, everything will fall in place, and I think he will be able to carry on as any other normal child.
Manzi, how are you?
I'm fine.
You're really fine, I can see. Great smile. You like colors? Tell me, what color is this?
What?
White it is. And right behind Daddy?
Green.
Green it is. And the lights?
Blue.
Great. Thank you. So, Gordon, I know you're happy as a father, and Mom must be happy for Manzi to get to speak again, hear again. But how has it been with the siblings, the older brothers and the young ones? How have they welcomed the fact that Manzi can actually speak and hear?
Oh, thank you. Well, Manzi's speech has brought tremendous joy in the house. The fact that now he can communicate with his brothers, he can play with his brothers, he can communicate with his mom. Previously, it was a battle of this is what he means or this is what he means by that gesture. But now he's able to put it out. Now he's able to say his eyes are hurting, or he's got a headache, or he fell. So it has brought so much joy in the house, and we're really, really happy that we were able to do the implant for him, not only for the period now, but also for him in the future, to open up more possibilities for him.
As you go for the break, please follow us on Twitter, The Doctalk Show, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook. We'll be glad to respond to your questions. Thank you.
You are watching the Doctalk Show.